Dear sisters, brothers, and beloved soulmates, I am Ramon Krishna Vadapalli, the owner of this channel, dedicated to promoting a moral and spiritual society worldwide. Our main objective is to share the epic story of the Mahabharata, which serves as a rich collection of spiritual and moral teachings. This includes the Bhagavad Gita, a profound source of enlightenment for all humanity. I kindly ask all viewers to subscribe, like, and share this channel to support our mission. The Mahabharata comprises a total of 589 stories, each contributing to our understanding of life and spirituality. Please subscribe and share and support me for more likewise. Thank you. Yours, Vadapalli Ramon Krishna, ancient yoga trainer. Vasuki's sister's marriage to Jaratkara. One day, Vasuki approached the ascetic Jaratkara and humbly requested him to marry his sister. However, Jaratkara was reluctant and refused, saying, "Vasuki, I am only getting married for a purpose. I will marry a woman who shares my name, but know this, I will leave her as soon as a son is born. If the child is not suitable for me, if she causes me any difficulty, or if she ever interferes with my conduct, I will abandon her immediately without hesitation, regardless of whether a son is born or not." Vasuki, understanding the importance of this union, agreed to all the conditions set by the Brahmin. With great reverence, he said, "Mahatma, all your conditions are acceptable to us. Please marry my sister. Her name is also Jaratkara, just as you required." Hearing this, Jaratkara finally consented to the marriage. The wedding was performed with great splendor, following the sacred Vedic rituals, uniting the two under divine blessings. Jaratkara, abandoning Jaratkara. Jaratkara, having been warned multiple times by her brother and entrusted with the protection of her people, revered her husband, Jaratkara, more than the gods themselves. She remained unwavering in her devotion. Time passed, and one evening, Jaratkara fell asleep with his head resting on his wife's lap. As the sun began to set, Jaratkara grew anxious. If she woke him, he might be angered. If she let him sleep, he might miss his evening prayers and risk becoming apostate. Torn between these choices, she decided it was better to bear his anger than allow him to neglect his sacred duty. Gently, she woke him, saying, "Bhagavan, the evening is approaching. You, the omniscient, should wake up." Jaratkara woke, rubbing his eyes, and snapped, "You fool! You have no sense to disturb my sleep." She pleaded, "I only did so because I feared that if a Vipra does not wake at sunset, he may become a renegade." Jaratkara, furious, mocked her, "You think the sun sets before I wake and rises when I do? You dare to disturb me?" Then, with a stern voice, he declared, "Sudati, I had set my conditions before our marriage. You have now violated them. I am leaving you. Whether you return to your brother or go elsewhere is your choice." Though Jaratkara had foreseen this moment, the reality of it struck her with unbearable sorrow. She cried, "O Lord! You expected a child from me, and I have faithfully served you. If you abandon me before I have borne that child, our purpose will be lost. Please stay until I give birth to a man as great as you." The sage, unmoved, replied, "You are already pregnant." Overwhelmed, she asked, "But will my child be as great as you?" Jaratkara, before departing, repeated thrice, "Asti asti asti, yes, yes, yes," and then disappeared. Jaratkara sought refuge with her brother, Vasuki, who welcomed her with deep affection. At an auspicious time, she gave birth to a son. Remembering the words spoken by his father, he was named Astika. When Janamejaya began his serpent sacrifice, Vasuki informed Jaratkara of the looming disaster. She turned to her son and said, "My child, I gave birth to you for the protection of the Nagas. The time has come, save us." Assuring his mother, Astika set forth to the yajna and intervened, saving the serpent race from annihilation. After fulfilling his purpose, Astika returned to his mother and uncle, recounting all that had transpired. Overjoyed, Vasuki said, "Nephew, I wish to grant you a boon. Ask for whatever you desire." Astika humbly replied, "I have no personal desires. However, since you insist, grant this boon instead. Let those who hear, read, or remember my story be free from the dangers of serpents." Vasuki agreed, saying, "So be it." Those who recite the story of your birth and life, and those who remember you, shall never suffer from snake bites. Should any serpent defy this promise, its jaws shall be broken instantly. Moreover, those who recall you sincerely shall remain safe even from venomous fevers. With his mission fulfilled, the devotee Astika continued on his righteous path, his name eternally remembered as the savior of the Nagas. Janamejaya asks Vyasa to tell Bharat. All the sages continued working towards completing the yagna using alternative methods. Though Janamejaya was deeply affected by the interruption of his grand serpent sacrifice, he entrusted the responsibility of the yagna to the Hotas and turned his attention to the great sages present, eager to hear various mythological stories. However, his heart remained preoccupied with thoughts of his ancestors. Seeking clarity and guidance, he approached the revered sage Veda Vyasa, who was present in the assembly, and requested him to narrate the stories of his forefathers. Understanding Janamejaya's inner turmoil, Veda Vyasa responded, "Good. Listen to the story of Bharat. It will dispel your uncertainties in this world and bring immense blessings to your ancestors in the afterlife." Having thus blessed the king, Vyasa turned to his disciple, Vaishampayana, and commanded, "Vaishampayana, narrate to the people the story of the Mahabharata as I have taught it to you. Let them hear the great tale of Jaya." Vaishampayan introducing Bharat. According to the command of Veda Vyasa, Vaishampayana first bowed down to his revered guru. The assembled people, recognizing his wisdom and authority, worshipped him with great reverence, offering him a tambourine and requesting him to narrate the story of their ancestors. Once again, Vaishampayana bowed to his guru and, in an auspicious and solemn voice, began his narration of Bharat. "O great sages of the Shaunakadi lineage! I will now recount exactly what Vaishampayana said in that sacred assembly. While the manner of speaking is mine, all the greatness belongs to them. Listen with utmost attention." Vaishampayana then began, "Salutations to Vyasa, who is the very embodiment of Vishnu. I offer my respects to all the revered elders. My guru, Sri Veda Vyasa, for the welfare of the world, composed this grand epic under the name Jaya. Since it is a tale about the heroic lineage of the Bharatas, it is known as Bharata, and because it is a great epic, it is called the Mahabharata. O devotees of Mahabharata, listen attentively. In ancient times, the Vedas, which were originally one, were divided into four by my guru, and his disciples further wrote the sutras and spread their knowledge. Thus, Sri Krishna Dvaipayana, the great sage, became renowned as Veda Vyasa. I bow once again to that Vyasa, who, with divine foresight, composed the 18 Puranas, which are as harmonious as the goddess herself. He is the guiding light for Brahmin scholars, the one who expounded the Brahma Sutras and declared, Akatavadano Brahma, Brahmin is beyond form and number. O king! After the great war of Mahabharata, my guru, with the intention of compiling the stories of his mighty ancestors and the heroic Bharatas, dedicated 3 years of tireless effort to construct the epic within his mind. While contemplating a worthy scribe to transcribe his work, the four-faced Brahma himself appeared before him. Understanding my guru's desire, Brahma suggested the great Mahaganapati, the supreme lord of wisdom, as the most suitable writer. Without delay, Vyasa undertook Vaishampayan introducing Bharat. According to the command of Veda Vyasa, Vineshwara becomes a scribe for Bharat. Vineshwara appeared before Vyasa and asked him to make a wish. As Vyasa had already conceived the epic Bharata in his mind, he requested Ganapati to write it down as he dictated. Ganapati smiled and said, "Sage, if I begin writing with my tusk, can you keep up? From the moment I start, my pen must not pause for even a moment. If you can dictate continuously without stopping, I will certainly write it down." Vyasa, recognizing the challenge, responded wisely, "Son of Shiva, it is not about my ability, but about divine will. However, I ask for one condition. You must first understand the verses I dictate before you write them. You must carefully examine their meaning, their appropriateness, and their depth. Only after you have comprehended them fully should you put them in writing. Son of Parvati, please grant me this boon." The remover of obstacles, Vineswara, agreed to this condition. With the auspicious moment at hand, Vyasa, the great composer, and Ganapati, the divine scribe, sat down to begin their monumental task. To ensure that he had time to compose the epic without interruption, Vyasa crafted the first 3,000 verses in an extremely complex manner, making them difficult to grasp at once. This clever strategy gave him the necessary time to think and dictate the rest of the Mahabharata without Ganapati outpacing him. Thus, the grand narration of Bharata began.